in the buses, there were places for whites and places for blacks. The whites sat at the back, the blacks sat at the front. Now, if the places for the whites got full and you were a black person, you had to stand up and let the white person sit. One day, this lady said, I'm not going to stand. So she refuses to stand, to leave the chair. So the driver of the bus stops the bus and goes and tells her, you must stand. You must leave the seat. She refused. She was thrown off the bus. What she does is she goes and the blacks get into what we call boycott of buses in Montgomery. This spread across several towns in the US. Martin Luther King is one of those people who participates in the boycotting. Let's walk to work. So Martin Luther King gets inspired as a minister in church, as a Christian. He was wondering, this man up there, does he allow this, that you can discriminate because of color? So he got charged. He got inspired to fight against racial discrimination. So while slavery had ended officially as a law, it was being practiced through these other dubious means. So Martin Luther King starts a movement to end racial discrimination. Because at that time, they have the restaurants, the buses, this is for whites, this is for blacks. He was involved in various things. I want you to read his story. Go and Google it, read a little bit more about who this person is. Get to understand who he is. So when he starts his campaigns, the American government starts pulling him down. I always, I've made the statement that success breeds envy, both positive and negative. So the whites in America saw Martin Luther King as a threat. In his movement, he galvanized not only blacks but whites. You see, if you may not have had the privilege. I started with Indians, and there's an Indian who still comes around. One time he came and said, "Can I touch his head?" I didn't know it was something important to him. Gradually, when we lived together for a long time, color went out of his eyes and head. We became brothers. It was no longer an Indian and an African. So when these young people live together for some time, the rest goes away. So Martin Luther King starts that campaign of, can we get rid of racial discrimination? That meeting he had, he didn't call people, but it is believed to be one of the biggest meetings that they've ever had in the US, outside in Washington, D.C. And people came to listen to him. And so what makes Martin Luther King do this? He had a calling. His calling was, I want to end racial discrimination in this country. Much as the law had said that ended, in practice it had not. Martin Luther King was killed after some time. But his dream, and he doesn't say, no, ladies and gentlemen, I have a dream. You can see how passionate he was about the dream. I have a dream that one day white boys and black girls and white boys will walk hand in hand together. So we remember Martin Luther King. In fact, in the US, out of the 7 holidays that they have, one of them is the Martin Luther King Day, telling you how important he was. But I must tell you that racial discrimination has not ended in the US. There's a lot to do in leadership, which you need to do. You need to understand, you as leaders, as young leaders, that this is what we need to do. But if you go into history, it is said that human race begins in Africa. As it goes away, I had a friend, a professor who actually supervised me for my PhD. He usually comes here, stays with me. Because of COVID, he hasn't come. He confessed to me and said, I thought Africans were daft. And in our interactions, he was born in Kenya. His father was an Italian. The Italians who were in Kenya during those days of, so they left and went back and they settled in the UK. So we started interacting with him in 2001 or something like that. So we've been together for a long time. Professor Rosa, those of you who know it. And he confessed and said, I didn't know that Africans could be. But it's a problem. We have been told that we're not good enough in different ways. In the US, you were a slave. In South Africa, if you go to South Africa and you see South Africans, boy, they have years to get out, to get where you as Ugandans are. And yet you still in your mindset is that you are inferior to whites. It is your responsibility as leaders to get out of that, first of all, you yourselves, and then get the rest of the community out of that.